Oh, have y'all seen so have y'all seen alright, so we got the so the YSL so the YSL judge has recused himself from the case. Now, this is something that like we've seen coming for a while now, because this case is full of a lot of mistakes. However, the reason he actually got recused isn't the reason that we all think it is. Like, we all think he got excused because he had the ex parte meeting with YSL Woody and his representative behind the defense back. But that's not actually exactly why he got recused, all right? Oh, man, Big Saleh Agbi, man, says, how you been, bro? Man, bro, I've been good, my boy. Thank you, man.
Law and crime, this just in for Young Thug racketeering case. We have got a decision by a judge outside of that of Judge Glanville that he is now recused. I have literally just gone over the motion now, and I'm going to go over it with you myself bit by bit. Starting first with the finding of facts. We all know what the facts were. There was an ex parte, meaning one of the parties, that being all of the defense attorneys, were not present for this meeting with Kenneth Copeland. Judge Glanville, along with the prosecution and Kenneth Copeland's attorney, had this in-chambers meeting talking about him pleading the fifth for about let's say 4 pages. So about four or so pages, just the facts as we remember them. This meeting happened. Glanville went back and forth deciding, is this person going to testify? You cannot plead the fifth. The prosecution, as we saw the transcripts that were later released, kept pressing. You've got immunity. You cannot be prosecuted for this in any way, shape, or form. And that means you have to testify. Ultimately, that meeting was not expressed in detail to the defense until Brian Steele, the defense attorney for Young Thug.
But also, too, though, like, so the judge and who recused, like Judge Ervil, and she stated that he did nothing wrong during the ex parte meeting, right? That he did nothing wrong during the ex parte meeting, right? That he actually conducted himself pretty well during the ex parte meeting is what he did afterwards, but we'll get to that soon.
Raised this issue. Following that, multiple defense attorneys filed motions for recusal. Now, moving on from the facts, going to the law. The legal framework for what a recusal requires. There are 3 criterias that needs to happen. Those being, the motion needs to be timely, needs to be supported by an affidavit, and the facts alleged need to show that a recusal might be warranted. Now, to the first 2 parts, Judge Glanville himself said that this is timely. When the defense found an issue, they brought it up. The second part, he said that there is an affidavit that was filed. Good. But the reason why Judge Glanville himself said that he's denying the recusal is because he argued that the facts alleged did not warrant a recusal, that they did not meet that threshold. However, he ultimately passed this case on to another judge, and this is the judge's analysis and discussion. It's just a quick, I wouldn't even call it 2 pages. I'd call it a page and a half, if that. And the judge does start off by saying, as previously announced on the record, this motion was timely and supported by an affidavit. Already got that. But moving on to the next part, the court kind of pauses and says, you know what, it's worth noting, and I'm just quoting here, that this court agrees generally with Judge Glanville's assessment of the proprietary of the meeting, that ex parte meeting, saying, okay, that's okay to happen. While the meeting could have and perhaps should have taken place in open court, kind of giving that option there, nothing about the fact of this meeting or substance discussed was inherently improper. However, and this is the big however, in his order denying defendant Kendrick's motion and in the process of making a record on July 1st, Judge Glanville added facts, provided context, questioned the veracity of the allegations, and otherwise explained his decisions and actions and argued why those actions were proper. Just going to keep going through here. While, and I'm quoting here, may be appropriate for judges to disclose information relevant to his potential recusal, such a disclosure must be made in a way that is objective, dispassionate, and non-argumentative as possible, said that the judge is not reasonably perceived as a hostile witness or advocate. As we saw in Judge Glanville's recitation of why he was not recusing himself, he was, let's just say he was definitely a little hostile. In presenting this record as to the recusal issues and in ruling on Kendrick's motions, Judge Glanville, quote, evaluated and accepted the truth of his own factual allegations mandating his recusal. What that basically means in English, he played both witness, judge, and jury in deciding the veracity and the truthfulness of his own allegations. A judge can.
Yo, ain't that crazy though, right? How, and overall he was correct, right? He didn't violate any protocols. Nothing that took place in the ex parte meeting warranted a recusal. But is him being argumentative, him showing biases afterwards, that's what did it for him.
Not do that. That's what the Honorable Judge Rachel Kraus, who was given this case to decide the recusal, ultimately decides. They continue by saying that this court has no doubt that Judge Glanville can and would continue presiding fairly over this matter if the recusal motions were denied, but, and going on to quote here, the necessity of preserving the public's confidence in the judicial system weighs in favor of excusing Judge Glanville from further handling of this case. And this is the decision. Based on the foregoing, this court hereby orders the following. 1, Defendant DeMonte Kendrick's motion for recusal of the Chief Judge Urville is granted. 2, Caleb Bumpus' motion to quash the show cause order or for the recusal of Judge Glanville is denied as moot meaning that it's no longer an issue, and that the defendant Jeffrey Williams' motion to disqualify or recuse Judge Glanville for all further dealings in the above referenced case as amended and supplemented is granted. The court clerk shall reassign this case using the court's case assignment procedures. This is the order of the judge as of the 15th of July for the year of 2024. That is today. What that basically means is Judge Glanville is no longer the judge in the Young Thug RICO case for any of the defendants. It will go back to the court clerks to reassign this case. This is the breaking news coming out of the Young Thug case in Georgia. All right. So now that you have that breaking news and the breakdown of that 10-page motion, but I always tell people, you know what? Don't believe the guy in the nice suit. Go and read it yourself. But that is a quick synopsis of why Judge Glanville will no longer be the judge in this case. For now, we're going to go back to recapping the Alec Baldwin case, where his case was
What the hell? No, facts. Now, also too though, so here. So Megan actually did like a great job at detailing it, right? Yeah. Now, I'm going to say this though, right? And if the judge believes though that Judge Glanville could still preside over this fairly, then her recusing him due to public pressure or public backlash, or her feeling like this will make the public untrusting in the judicial process, I don't think that's enough of a reason to recuse the man.
YSL case. He is off the case. Judge Rachel Kraus recused him from the case today. Big news, big surprise too, because she even says in her order that the ex parte hearing that everyone was complaining about, that was the basis for the recusal motion, she doesn't see anything improper with it, or she agrees generally with Judge Glanville about the propriety of it. It's everything Judge Glanville did after that screwed him over. He's his own worst enemy here. It's how he handled the recusal motions, the order that he wrote, his refusal to recuse himself from the recusal motions. He really screwed himself over. And then July 1st, when he decided to basically try to save himself by coming out and sending the recusal motions to another judge, those comments that he made all around that are what formed the basis for his recusal today. Judge Kraus even says in here, it just blows me away that she says it's not the ex parte hearing. She agrees that this could be a legitimate reason for a meeting. It's just everything he did after that, the way he responded to the recusal motions, trying to passionately defend himself and put facts into the record. She said that forms the basis for recusal. So what's really interesting is, while this is like such a huge victory for the defense, when you read through the defense recusal filings, they did not really raise these issues at all. You'll remember the supplement that Keith Adams and Brian Steele filed after July 1st was all about the transcript of the meeting and all the misconduct that they said occurred, the badgering of the witness, the coercion of the witness. And it turns out that Judge Krause really wasn't persuaded by any of that, but she had her own reason for recusing Judge Glanville and came up with it based on case law and his July 1st comments. Really, really kind of a remarkable turn of events here. So again, this goes to another judge. It's already been assigned to another judge. We don't know if she's going to stick with it, but this is her right here.
Yeah. And she, so that was crazy, right? So apparently one of like her clerks or deputies or somebody on her staff was apparently caught and arrested, all right, for apparently smashing one of the inmates, all right? I think it's like Big Briss. So she has recused herself because she's like, bruh, even if I take this stand, bruh, at some point it's going to be an issue. They're going to try to file for a mistrial or to recuse me as well, right? Because, you know, I like due to the conflict of like interest here. So for that, I'm recusing myself. So now she's recusing herself as well. So now guess what? There's no lawyer. Like, yo, this whole case is a mess, bro. Like, throw this shit out, bro. All right, like a second judge has recused herself within a day of being
again, we don't know exactly what she's going to, if she's going to stick with the case, but it's a big question about what's going to happen in the next coming days. But I would expect to see a motion for a mistrial, a motion for bail, which Doug Weinstein had talked before about how they didn't think that had any chance. A motion for bail reconsideration would have any chance with Glanville, but obviously if they got a new judge, they were hoping for that. So I think.
Right. Because if there's a mistrial, and you guys have to go through this entire process again, which is like a year of picking a new jury, I feel like it's time to let them out of jail, right? Now, we understand with YNW Melly, that didn't happen. Like, they told Melly, well, hey, good luck, go back to jail. You was not getting out.
I think we're going to see that in the next week or so, but it really is just a big question of when could this trial proceed again? Because I think they're going to have to call a mistrial, but again, that's not even a given. But I mean, are we going to see anything before the end of the year? Are they just going to restart next year? I mean, I'm just not sure, but we'll see. But thank you guys all for.
Bro, it's a big mess, yo. Like at this point, bro, listen, y'all know my stance on it, bro. I think Thug is guilty. I think Thug did it. But at this point, bro, even I can't be no hater, bro. Even I got to say, listen, man. Y'all messed up badly, bro. Give that man bond, let him out of jail. Because listen, because if we even break this case down to like the basis of it, which is Thug the leader of a criminal organization? We know the truth. We know that Thug, yes, he's the leader of YSL, and YSL is a criminal organization, is a gang. But at this point, yo, bro, like, y'all done effed up and muddy up the water so much, bro, that even that is muddy now, man. Bro, at this point, man, just let them folks out of jail, man, and figure out, like, and give out plea deals or something, man. All right? Now, let's see, man. All right, what's next? Yo, are y'all tapped in with this Cody Ko shit? Yo, are y'all tapped in with this Cody Ko shit?